Welcome back, capital F football fans, to the O&O Sports YouTube channel. Today, we are taking a look at the Cotton Bowl matchup between the Texas Longhorns and the Ohio State Buckeyes. As always, if you enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. And let's jump into the tale of the tape. Starting with Ohio State, overall, they've gone 12-2 this year, 8-2 in conference. Their best wins are Oregon, Penn State, and Tennessee. Two of those games in the postseason alone. Total offense, they rank at 22nd. Total defense, they rank first in the country. In terms of strength of schedule, they are second. And in the college football playoff ranking, they're sixth, but our good buddy Todd has them at first. Now let's look at Texas. Overall, they're 13-2, 7-2 in the conference. Their best wins this year are Arizona State, Clemson, and Texas A&M. Total offense, they rank at 12th. Total defense, they rank at 3rd. Strength of schedule is also 3rd. And in the college football playoff, what do you know? They are also 3rd. And Todd has them at 2nd. Pretty even stats down the board for each of these teams. And let's jump into your players to watch in this one. For Ohio State, your offensive player to watch is going to be Jeremiah Smith. He has been the definition of a game changer for the Buckeyes this postseason. He's logged almost 300 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns through 2 playoff games alone, and on the year he's quadrupled that, going for 70 receptions, 1,224 receiving yards, and 15 total touchdowns. They're gonna want to keep feeding him the ball here. He has proved he is the playmaker on that offense who can literally win you games by himself. Love Will Howard, love that running back tandem, but Smith is on a completely different level right now, and the same goes for that defense. They've been playing out of this world, and your defensive player to watch is going to be the defensive back, Caleb Downs. Could have went a number of ways here. This defense is one of the best all around in the country, probably the best all around in the country, and the stats do back that up. But we want to highlight Downs here because of the crucial role he will have to play in this one. He's essentially going to be splitting reps at safety and linebacker here, and he's going to need to do both effectively in order to slow down that Texas pass offense. But we are getting a bit ahead of ourselves. For Caleb's stats this year, he's logged 40 solo tackles, 7 tackles for loss, a half a sack, an interception, and 6 pass defenses. Stats don't look particularly amazing on paper, but he's been one of the most crucial players on that defense this year. He's the only consensus All-American on that unit for a reason, and he's going to need to show why in this one. But for Texas on offense, your player to watch is going to be the quarterback, Quinn Ewers. He really clutched up in that overtime thriller versus Arizona State last week. One of the best performances we've seen this year in one of the best games we've seen this year, and they're going to need him to do it again against what is probably the hottest team in sports right now in the Ohio State Buckeyes. On the year though, he has a 66.5% completion percentage, over 3,100 passing yards, 29 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and a 150.6 passer efficiency rating. Like we said, great numbers, and he's gotten even better down the stretch this year, not unlike their player to watch on defense, linebacker Anthony Hill Jr. He's been one of the best linebackers in the country, one of the best backfield disruptors as well. This year he's gone for 55 solo tackles, 16 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks, an interception, a pass defense, 4 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. Truly a difference maker to the fullest extent of the term on that Texas front 7, but he's going to need to step up and have one of the best games of this season if they want to walk away with a W in this one, which leads us to our keys to victory for both squads. Starting with Ohio State, we're going to start with establishing the run. We say it almost every video for almost every team because it is such a vital element for an offense. And if you don't believe me, just look back to Texas's last opponent, Arizona State. They looked way overmatched in the first half of that game, but were churning out runs with Cam Skattebo left and right, which set up Skattebo to have a huge performance in the second half and almost willing the Sun Devils to victory by himself there. And if you're Ryan Day and if you're Chip Kelly, you're looking at that performance and saying to yourselves, if they can do it, we can do it. And they they would be 100% correct in thinking so. That is why it will be key to establish those two backs early on in this one, because if you abandon the run early here, Texas has shown it can beat anyone not named Georgia through the air with Quinn Ewers and those wide receivers. So that's the crucial first step for the Buckeyes, but what is the next step of the operation? For us, it'll be eliminating the run, which may seem like a tall task, but if you look back just 5 short days ago, they did that and more against Oregon, a team that is very similar to Texas in that they have solid backs that can get the ball rolling, but tend to lean on the pass in these kinds of matchups. You saw how that played out last week. We think it'll be a similar story here. If they can limit Wisner early and get a couple quick scores to go up by 10 or more in the first half, we think this will quickly turn into a contest where Ewers is tossing the ball up around 40 to 50 times, and unless Ewers is having a career day in that kind of matchup, we like Ohio State here. And for your last key to victory for the Buckeyes, it's going to be playing aggressively again. Like last week, you saw how well that worked out for them. Oregon came into that game expecting it to be like the first matchup between those two squads, but what they didn't realize is that Ohio State was in a whole new plane of existence in that matchup. Everything was clicking, deep shots, the ground game, sending 5, 6, 7 guys at the quarterback, and it clearly worked out amazingly for them, and we think it can again for them if they can do it again here. But with that out of the way, let's look at the keys to victory for Texas, starting with getting Wisner involved early and often in this one. We know how fast and physical that Ohio State front 7 is, so the solution in our opinion is have Wisner out on these little dump routes against the blitzes. He's capable of making a man miss in open space, and if you can get 1 or 2 big plays off of checkdowns to him, it'll keep Ohio State's defense honest in a way that running the ball between the tackles just has not done against him so far in this postseason. Very crucial that he touches the ball, and also very crucial that you limit Jeremiah Smith in this one, whether it be through double teams, safety help, whatever you need to do. And in our opinion, you can live with giving up a healthy run or two, but if you allow Smith to get in space often in this one, you're essentially just digging your own grave. He's still going to be able to find the ball one way or another, just can't afford another 100+ yard and 2 touchdown game from him here if you want to succeed in this one. And last in the keys to victory for Texas, it's going to be disrupting Will Howard's rhythm. Similarly to Smith, when Will Howard is cooking, he looks like one of the best players in the league, and the solution for that is getting him on the ground, pressuring him, getting in his face in this one. He's shown he's reliable even in those scenarios, but at some point, if he's getting hit every other play, it will affect his game. Need to get pressure on him whenever and wherever you can. If that means bringing an extra man on the blitz, bringing a corner off the edge, whatever you have to do, do it. Disrupt his game, disrupt that Howard to Smith connection, and this game should be much more manageable for you. And now let's look at our prediction for the Cotton Bowl matchup. As always, me and my arch nemesis Todd will have different predictions for this one that his evil robot algorithm comes up with, and another that my honest, hardworking American mind conjures up. Last week, Todd was a lot closer to reality than I was, and in this one, he's going to go with Ohio State to win here, and he thinks they'll win handily, with the Buckeyes taking this Cotton Bowl matchup by a final score of 35-21. And honestly, it's hard to argue with Todd right now. He is on fire. He said Ohio State would win by more than I did last week. He was right. I said Georgia would beat Notre Dame. He said the opposite. He was right. So I'm going to copy off his homework here and change an answer or two. I'm going with Ohio State to win this one 34-24, with the Buckeyes facing the winner of Penn State Notre Dame in that national championship. Stay tuned for that video this week. And as always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you're feeling generous, share it with some of your friends. It always helps us out. We always appreciate it. And we will see you in the next one.